Good morning.
Good morning, Shannon.
Shannon Wells with Garver, bringing update number 2 for Stribling Road from 463 to Dewees. For the sake of time, I'll hit the highlights of the written update in front of you, starting with the traffic analysis. We finished our traffic model for a continuous 5-lane section from beginning to end and had a few observations, one being that improvements are needed at the intersection of Camden Crossing, either in the form of a traffic signal or a roundabout. That's about as far as we've gone. At that point, the model supports that some improvements are needed there. Back to the main line, the 5-lane section, as you would hope, would alleviate the issues that we all are experiencing in the morning and the evening rush hour traffic going east, and the morning rush hour traffic going west, mainly from people parents taking their kids to Mansdale School. We did notice that there are some queuing at the end of the west end of the project because you do have a T intersection. That would be expected. And also the volumes that were projected do not accrue at the same rate on that end of the job because the subdivisions are smaller and there's a little more undeveloped land as the Lake Caroline entrance. So we thought it would be a good use of time to investigate, okay, what if we substituted a 3-lane section only on the west end? So for a 5-lane section from Dewees to McMillan, transitioning down to a 3-lane section onto 463, we found in the morning peak hours, really the difference, there's still a little bit of congestion there. As the county would continue to grow, there would be, for lack of a better word, some bumper-to-bumper traffic. But in the queuing would be a little more from the standpoint of storage, but we're still investigating that because there are other conditions or considerations such as cost, constructability, but we feel that that's still worth looking at. As of today, not ready to provide a firm opinion on which concept to move forward with. That's probably a discussion I'll have with Tim in the next couple of weeks. Geotechnical, the other item as far as progress to date I wanted to mention, we have a draft report completed from Dewees Road going west beyond McMillan, about halfway through Devlin Springs, the 2 entrances. The material is consistently unsuitable, primarily in the form of expansive clay, which is part of the reason why you can't drink a cup of coffee driving west from Lake Caroline. It's just rolls everywhere. And that material is not suitable to build your new road upon. And there's a couple other spots where the material may not be clay, but is soft and weak. So there will be undercut and backfill needed for a good portion of this project that will add some costs, which is part of the reason the 3-lane concept was introduced as well. All this kind of ties together. On the right-of-way end, those numbers that you see, the parcels are for a 3-lane, 5-lane hybrid section, curb and gutter throughout. We feel that curb and gutter would be worth it to minimize your impacts to utilities and right-of-way. Moving ahead quickly to the next 3 months, the environmental report is completed. We're waiting on design information, which is pretty much on go depending on the concept we decide upon, and it will go to the Corps within the next few weeks. Utilities, we've scheduled meetings in early May with all of the affected companies. We'll have a better idea regarding schedules for relocation, which in my opinion is going to be the critical path on my project, is relocating the utilities, particularly overhead power. On the roadway end, between now and when I stand before you in July, we will be well into preliminary design, getting into the details of drainage, maintenance of traffic, construction sequencing, as well as the intersection improvements I previously mentioned. And as of today, since we know a lot of the parcels, we know many parcels that we're for sure going to affect, there's no reason why we can't go ahead and begin title work. That process takes a few weeks, all the research that goes on the front end of right-of-way acquisition. We'd like to get that started as well. And the schedule before you see that I pushed ahead some of the phases, preliminary plans, and right-of-way because I was able to start those a little earlier than I initially thought. Because relocation is such a critical part, I'm still leaving it from now to the bid process where it is. Hopefully we'll know more 1 quarter from now. So that concludes my update, and I'll just see if you have any questions. That's all I have.
The, intersection of 463 and Stribling, have we been in communication with MDOT as to when they're going to make a change right there, and how we're gonna tie into their change?
Yes, sir. Well, on our design, we received, actually I work with a person who's over PMC for District 5, so he's kept me informed as the progress. The summer, as far as bidding, is the last update that I've received from him, but we requested from MDOT the actual CAD files and the DGNs of their plans. So we basically just dropped them onto our drawing, and so that we'll tie in. We do not propose to impact anything with the green T, which basically for westbound traffic is just a left and a right. There'll be a channelized right to Mansdale School, and everyone going to work to Madison has their own left turn lane with one receiving lane. Now, if we switch to the 5-lane concept, there will be an added lane in front of Hartfield that will be added to the right turn lane that they already have set up. So very little impacts to that we propose.
And what about the Hartfield, and how they coming in and out of their subdivision? Is that something that's gonna be affected, they come close to that intersection?
Yeah, it is. That situation, the green T, what I call the green T MDOT's project, it's really not gonna be any better or any worse. I mean, basically, Hartfield, for that 1 hour of the morning, they basically depend on people to let them in. Now, if the 5-lane concept is what we decide upon, then they will have an extra lane of traffic from northbound 463, that people that want to turn right onto Stribling. So from that standpoint, it could make it a little more hairy, but those movements are not as frequent. That's not one of the primary movements. But that's complicated, the proximity of that intersection, and it really won't be affected either way, really positively or negatively.
Shannon, good update, by the way. Say you are in the process of meeting with the utility companies?
About a week into May, I've set up about 4 or 5.
Good, because that's, as we all know, that's very important.
Absolutely.
They can slow down a project or stop a project.
I want to get them engaged as soon as possible, but obviously my project's not the only one, so they have to work all this out somehow.
You're right. Appreciate you getting them involved early.
Sure.
As well. Other questions? Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.